And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here and we are ready to bring you this second game of the second day of MEC 2014. I'm yours truly.
And I'm Holly Sheet.
Well, if you managed to tune in and catch that last game and the little piece there that Sven and Roller Polar Bear were talking about, it was absolutely phenomenal. As you can probably hear, my voice is going a little bit. I might have been doing just a little bit of cheering during that game.
It was indeed a fantastic game to be able to watch here. A great opener to this second day here at the Men's European Championships. Again, South Wales Silliers with those opening 9 o'clock AM games, winning both of them, bringing absolute tremendous energy to the track both mornings. You could see in their celebrations from both games that they were absolutely loving every part of it. And I think it's a sterling job that they've done today, getting through to that final.
Yeah, I mean, often the sport of roller derby is described as rugby on skates, but South Wales Silliers take that to as close to literal as possible, really. Yeah, they just, I think they were underestimated.
I think they were indeed.
Yeah, game against Lincolnshire Rolling Thunder where they took that win, and then in that second game against the Quad Guards, which we'll see the South West Silliers playing in the final at 7 o'clock today. So,
and that will be against the winner of this game, Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, up against Tyne and Fear Roller Derby, obviously from Newcastle here where we are based at the Walker Activity Dome. Tyne and Fear and the Newcastle Roller Girls being the home teams up here. I believe they're going to have a huge amount of support in the audience. Of course, if you are supporting both teams or either team, or even just loving the tournament itself, don't forget to send us your tweets on hashtag MEC2014. If we see any that are really nice and interesting, we might just read them out. So make sure they're funny, and we'll have a good old giggle here whilst we have a look at the tweets. Oh, I've had one already. Croydon Roller Derby. Nice one to Swiss Roller Derby. We're looking forward to watching you guys in the final. I think everybody's looking forward to watching Swiss in the final.
Yeah, definitely. So we are ready to bring you this game, which is for the other place in that final. Run through the rosters really quickly. Tyne and Fear have number 0 Moore, 0 UCH Barnabash, 1 Dark Matter, 13 Pablo Diablo, 26 Chemical, 3 Swiss Army Mike, 4 J Reanimated Gift, 6 Yorgie Bear, 64 60 Quad, 7 XS Bob Om, 8 Porky, 82 Dog, 9 Moo, and M1A1 Tank.
And we have started this game off. Southern Discomfort have number 13 Monsieur Furio on the jam line. Both jammers currently stuck behind. Very solid wall there. Monsieur Furio desperately trying to push. Is that Dark Matter?
It is, yes, Dark Matter, number 1 there for Tyne and Fear. And it is just a solid pack as the pack moves into turn 1. Neither jammer being given any quarter. Sutton trying the rewind there on Dark Matter. Doesn't manage to achieve it as Dark Matter is through for lead jammer.
Indeed, Monsieur Furio doing his best, darting side to side around that track. A wonderful little sweep there around the inside. Managing to break free now. Coming back round for his scoring pass, but Dark Matter is already in on that track. Getting past blockers. He is knocked down by Ballistic Whistle as Monsieur Furio takes a big tumble there on corner 4. He's very slow. I don't believe he wishes to get up just yet. The referees are calling that one just to make sure that Monsieur Furio is actually okay. Whilst they just go over and tend to him, he is looking up towards the medical staff. Thank you very much to Event First Aid Cheshire, who are here providing our medical services today. Let me just read through the Southern Discomfort Roller Derby team rosters. I wasn't able to do that before this game started. We have 101 Blitzkrieg, 13, you've seen him jamming, Monsieur Furio, 14 Samdroid, 17 Berserker, 1 UB Shrooms, 3 Sutton Impact, 33 Rolling Stoner, 380 Flat Track Bully, 515 Piston Broke, 6283 Spectral Abrasion, 666 Reaper, 9 OZ Herbilicious, I was a little bit upside down there, MI6 Ballistic Whistle, and X111 Nanaki.
Okay, so while we wait for the situation to be attended to, let's just give you some information from our sponsors. The MRDA, Men's Roller Derby Association, are proud to be backing this inaugural Men's European Cup. They wish all the teams competing the best of luck.
They do indeed. It's wonderful that we've got that backing here over in the UK. We have all the teams here today taking part in the tournament over this weekend are either MRDA affiliated or working towards MRDA affiliation. It's fantastic that the guys are taking as much seriousness in their sport and wanting to play at the highest level that they can do. So a big thank you to the MRDA, Men's Roller Derby Association, for providing their support to this tournament over here.
Yes, and all of the bouts that are taken, or games rather, sorry, so old habits die hard.
I get very pernickety about that one.
I do as well, so I'm quite disappointed in myself.
Slapping your own wrist.
Tripping up there. All of the games taking place this weekend are, as far as I'm aware, MRDA sanctioned games. Another thank you that I'd like to give is to the Walker Activity Dome. They did agree to stay late last night so that we could complete all of the games that were scheduled yesterday. So thank you ever so much to the Walker Activity Dome and the staff for allowing us to continue those games right till 10 o'clock last night.
Yes, thank you very much. We have the scores are on the board from that first jam. 1 point to Tyne and Fear Roller Derby, 2 points to Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. Only 51 seconds taken from the game so far. We will keep you updated as to what's happening with Monsieur Furio. He is being screened off from the crowd here. And the medical staff here, as I said, are tending to him just to make sure that he is okay. We'll keep you updated as soon as we hear any information.
Okay, we have a tweet in here from @HowSteph. Crikey, what a way to start a Sunday, talking about the SUS game. Amazing stuff at SUS. An excellent shocked/terrified face from @Pixie157.
I hope that's somebody tweeting in their selfies. I'll be sending my own selfie album through to Facebook later on today if I can get any signal. Keep your eyes out for that one because I'm hoping it's going to be a good one.
I think it will be. I don't think Holly's going to disappoint you with that one.
Oh, we've had a tweet through from Kid Block. So stoked. Soos. Can't wait to watch the final. Soos.
We have heard a lot of that coming from the crowd so far this weekend.
Indeed. I don't know which has been louder, the swoosh soos or Tyne and Fear's drum. Did you hear that yesterday? They had that drum beating the crowd up into a frenzy, and you know that the audience being behind them is helping. These two teams are getting through, getting the scores that they want. They're getting the wins. So Monsieur Furio, he is back to his feet. There's a massive cheer going up from the crowd. He is staying over there with the medical staff for the time being. The jam was called off, so if he was able to return straight away, he would have to stay off for 3 jams. But it does look like he will be tended to the medical staff just for a brief while longer. We will, again, if we get any more updates, we will let you know exactly how he's doing. But yes, a massive cheer here in the crowd. Nobody wants to see anybody injured. That's not what we're here for in this game. We want to see some good play. Yes, there may be some big hits, but let's keep them nice and safe.
And legal, yes.
Legal.
Nice, safe,
that
legal
goes
hits.
without saying.
Yes, so good to see that Monsieur Furio was able to wheel himself off the track. We should be bringing the action back to you as soon as the officiating crew have had their discussion and ensured that everything that has been recorded is as it should be before we get back into the action.
Indeed, and we've had quite a lot of work for the Events Cheshire First Aid team. They've done a sterling job all over the weekend. We do know that we had NWO's Darth Sibius and LRT's Yves Ormai, both taken to hospital yesterday with head injuries. Both of them are out of hospital and are both okay. Thank you to everyone who's been sending in their well wishes to both of those teams and the well wishes through on the hashtag MEC2014. Thank you guys ever so much. Both of those skaters are out of hospital and both are doing well.
So both teams now ready on the jam line for the Tyne and Fear lads. We have Dog, and I can hear the crowd chanting, "Be more Dog, already."
And Southern Discover Roller Derby have got Reaper 666 on the jam line. Reaper looking very, very tall. I mean, I know Dog's tall. I didn't realise Reaper was almost the same height. So this should be good to see these two jammers matching off against each other.
5-second call. Jam is on. Dog going for the outside line there. Reaper, meanwhile, coming up against More Than a Woman and Barnabash and Tank at the back. That's a fairly formidable blocking lineup that Reaper is trying to get past. Meanwhile, Dog with Rolling Stoner and Bully at the front, and Spectral. Both massive walls, but it is Reaper that takes that inside line.
A massive apex jump there by Reaper. Dog has also broken his way through. Very, very slow pack to start off with, but the pack is now speeding up as Reaper makes his way to the back. Nice, easy pass there for Reaper as Rolling Stoner, Flat Track Bully and Spectral Liberation managed to just sweep that Tyne and Fear guys to the outside line. An easy pass there for Reaper, bringing Southern Discomfort Roller Derby score up to 6 points. Tyne and Fear staying on 2 points.
Yeah, Southern Discomfort doing a really good job of distracting the Tyne and Fear defence there. Never take your eye off Reaper.
Oh, indeed. And we have Nanaki on the line now for Southern Discomfort.
And for Tyne and Fear, 60 Quad Bit, who played a very good game yesterday. Can he do the same again today? Tries to take to the outside. Sutton with the shoulder hit, forces 60 Quad Bit to the back and has to recycle.
Nanaki taking lead jammer there on the outside, managing to just spread off against one blocker. Passes him easy and starting to come back round for a scoring pass. 60 Quad Bit taking an absolute beating there. Takes himself off the track, recycled back, but no, he has picked up a cut track penalty. This is now a power jam for Nanaki and Southern Discomfort. Nanaki facing up against Chemic Al at the front.
Yeah, unfortunately, 60 Quad Bit did not see Shrooms jump back there, making the cut call occur. So
yeah, I think he tried to keep himself low, but he had already made his ground and re-entered that track.
Indeed, he had. Nataki taking a tumble to the floor there on the inside, being recycled back by Reanimated GIF. Chemical joining him, bridging all the way back with the Soul Crush.
This bridging back and soul crushing has been such an absolute changer for games. I mean, it not only stretches the time out for the team that are defending, but it does. As a jammer, it's the worst thing ever. I mean, to come all the way back round a track, fight through those players that you've already made your way past.
It's not called the Soul Crush for any reason other than that's exactly how it makes you feel.
Crushed. Winter Roller Girls giving us a shout out. Good luck at SDRD and their coach, Rolling Stoner.
Yeah, Rolling Stoner.
He's on track. Yes.
Indeed he is, as it is Ballistic Whistle with the start in this power start for Southern Discomfort.
Indeed, quite a fast pack for a power jam start here. Ballistic Whistle picking up a penalty there. It's a cut track. So in the meantime, Tyne and Fear do have 60 Quad Bit back on track.
Spectral also going
now, 60 Quad Bit picking up a cut track. He didn't see Stoner jumping all the way behind all those blockers there. So very quick changeover, Ballistic Whistle back out, but of course 60 Quad Bit will be spending a very short time in that box. Lots of penalties. A back block here awarded to Porky. 60 Quad Bit making his way back around Rolling Stoner. In the meantime, Ballistic Whistle's up there at the front, pushing against the 2 wall from Tyne and Fear, manages to spin around that inside line and has broken the pack.
Meanwhile, 60 Quad Bit has got through. He's not lead jammer. Ballistic with those long legs already around and back on the pack, straight down the outside line. Manages to clear through, picking up a 4-point pass. 64 Quad Bit now against Spectral and Rolling Stoner at the front. Spectral with a big hip hit to the outside there, forces 60 Quad Bit back. Meanwhile, Ballistic just sails on through, picks up a 5-point pass.
Indeed, lots of agility here from the jammers. Some absolutely huge hits coming in from the blockers here. Southern Discomfort, known for their sort of their positional blocking more so in the previous games, putting in some heavy hits here. 60 quad bit being sent off there. Does a power jam to Southern Discomfort, Roller Derby?
And out of play blocking, I think, on Samdroid there, who is also going to the penalty box. 60 quad bit just dragging his toe to the outside of the outside line as he came around that corner, hence the cut. Ballistic Whistle pushing up against that front wall, manages to break past Barnabash, and Pablo Diablo picks up a 5-point pass.
He wasn't looking too happy before that pass. I think he was finding it a little bit tougher than he expected to. So some really good blocking there from the Time and Fear boys to manage to slow down Ballistic Whistle. A 14-point jam there by Ballistic, obviously with a few switches around on that penalty box, bringing the score to 27 to Southern Discomfort. Roller Derby 5 to Tyne and Fear.
Yeah, Barnabash doing some really good work there on Ballistic Whistle, another skater that has played really well for Tyne and Fear, Barnabash. So, a little bit thin on the ground with blockers on the track, just Sutton and Shrooms for Southern Discomfort. Meanwhile, Monsieur Furia is back up from that fall and on track. Reanimated GIF and Chemical there, really trying to hold Monsieur Furia back, forces the recycle with a bob on there all the way to the back. 60 quad bit, meanwhile, has rejoined play.
Indeed. Monsieur Fury having to battle around almost back to the jammer line. Now he's fighting his way through up against Chemical, taking a big hit, going down on his knees underneath Chemical, getting that direction of gameplay. And Monsieur Fury has broken for lead jammer.
Did take 40 seconds there before we got a lead jammer call. Just goes to show how tough these walls are to get through. Monsieur Furia already back through, nips past Bob on there, picks up a 5-point pass.
The thing I love most about Monsieur Furio, his feet never seem to be pointing in the same direction for more than a few seconds.
No, that is a man who has quite the skills of agility when he's on the track.
Oh, wow.
There we go, showing them using that little spin to glance off that hit from Tank and pick up another 5 points. Meanwhile, 60 quad bit really struggling here, just can't get past that Southern Discomfort defence. Spectral Aberration there, just positionally blocking 60 quad bit and forcing that recycle over and over again.
Indeed. Got quite a lot of action going on track here. Both jammers finding it tricky to get through. Monsieur Furio taken almost to a halt. We know he likes his speed and his movement, so this is going to be doing him no end of problems.
Reanimated gift there with the feed to the outside. Unfortunately, it was a high block. He will go to the box. Tank, meanwhile, also trying to pop Monsieur Furio to the outside. 60 quad bit, finally managing to get past
the audience. Absolutely loving the
lone remaining Southern Discomfort blocker, Samdroid there. Oh, and a little handshake from the jammers as that takes us to 5 points for Tyne and Fear and 42 for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
And let me give you a little bit of information about one of our sponsors. We've got Ennui Skate Gear. They're a new concept of protective gear specifically designed for alternative sports and all non-motorised wheel sports. I'm not sure.
It still makes me laugh.
It is. I believe it's skateboarding and skating. Designed and run by skaters, their aim is to create protective gear that they would wear themselves.
Reaper there trying jammer offense off the line due to the very thin Southern Discomfort pack. It did not work, and this means that number 3, is it number 13, Pablo Diablo, manages to get through and pick up lead jammer status. Looks as though Rolling Stoner possibly being sent off there. I do apologise, Swiss Army Mike, I just couldn't quite see there. Swiss Army Mike was the jammer in that last jam.
Okay, Reaper, it does appear that Reaper's picked up a misconduct call. He wasn't happy with it. It was contact with a referee, and he's not happy about it. He took off his helmet cover to finish that jam, has been signalled to go back to the penalty box. And as such, Southern Discomfort appeared to be calling a timeout.
I would imagine, yes, we're going to see the captain and the alternate going to the infield there to have a discussion with the referee crew in respect of what occurred. So quite a heavy penalty box in that last jam. We now have 2 Tyne and Fear blockers on the track, 3 for Southern Discomfort. Dark Matter up wearing the star, ready for this next jam.
Just give a few shout outs to some people who are watching us and sending in their comments. Hello to Claudia Espana, who's watching from Bangkok. Wow, this is really getting international. I know it's a European Cup, but my goodness, we're managing to collar all the countries around the world this day.
And then a shout out to Nikki Vavavoom. Roller derby, men in kilts. My Sunday night is looking good. I think that's a reference to Chemical.
I believe I've not seen another kilt out there today, so I'm hoping it is. And also, can we just give a shout out to Double Threat Skates, roller derby skate shop based in central London and run by London roller girls Kristen Lee and Gorgasm. Check them out at www.doublethreatskates.co.uk.
And don't forget, if you want to get in touch, keep tweeting in at hashtag MEC2014.
Please do. I'm sat right next to our Twitter feed here and I'm getting fed all the interesting ones, so make it interesting. It will get passed through to us and we'll do our best to give you a shout out. Back to the action, and we've got Dark Matter there trying to get around the inside line. He's knocked off, recycled back behind Piston Broke, who was knocked off as well. Dark Matter now up against a very solid Sutton Impact at the front, taking an absolute beating off of Sutton Impact, managing to scooch around the outside. He's now up against Spectral Abrasion. Spectral trying to stop him. Sutton Impact had joined him back, but is bridging in, and Dark Matter with a cheer and a jump in the air, massive smile on his face, manages to break through for lead jammer.
Yeah, great agility there. Dark Matter coming through on the inside line, backwards on 1 foot, as you do, to pick up that lead jammer call. Meanwhile, Reaper has managed to clear through the pack, and Dark Matter sees him coming up fast.
That was an incredibly fast break there by Reaper. As soon as he was out from that penalty box, he was straight through and chasing down Dark Matter.
Yeah, Reaper is an incredibly fast skater. He manages to get round that track before you can blink. You need to be aware of where he is if you're the other jammer.
Indeed. If you are enjoying the feed that we're giving to you, even if you're not, please help us to keep providing these high quality feeds by heading over to derbyduckproductions.co.uk and hitting that donate button so that we can keep bringing you all the best quality action here from the Men's European Cup. We've got lead jammer, Southern Discomfort's Nanaki.
Meanwhile, Moo wearing the star for Tyne and Fear, getting recycled all the way back by Spectral Aberration.
I saw an absolutely wonderful sign in the audience yesterday for Moo. Comparing him to another one of his teammates, it was brilliant. So thank you to the support here in-house as well. Moo managing to dart round the outside, keeping on his feet after a big hit by Rolling Stoner. He's happy with what he's done as well. And Nanaki calling it before Moo can get around. Again, that's not booing, that's mooing. So it's very similar to the Seuss that we heard earlier, but that's Moo the jammer there for Tyne and Fear.
And some great agility actually from these Tyne and Fear jammers. They're showing Southern Discomfort that this is not just going to be an easy game for them. They're going to make them fight for those points they're trying to defend. So we have Dog, number 82 for Tyne and Fear.
And he's up against Ballistic Whistle for Southern Discomfort. Southern Discomfort there in the white jerseys. Ballistic Whistle trying to push his way through that middle. It looked like Dog was trying to follow him through, but Piston Broke, pushed him out. It's a no pass, no penalty. Ballistic Whistle picking up lead jammer. Dog still stuck at the back. Sutton Impact, I don't think he spent any of the game skating facing the right way round.
No.
Any of the tournament for that matter. And again, Piston Broke bringing Dog all the way back. Ballistic Whistle picking up 5 points and a nice easy pass there. Sutton Impact's been sent off. That might make it a bit easier, and as such we've got Dog breaking through there. It was a forearms on Sutton Impact. But Ballistic Whistle calling it before Dog can get round and start making his scoring pass.
Yeah, something you need to be careful of if you're playing in that face-on blocking position is ensuring that those arms and elbows are out of the way.
And obviously that you'll carry on moving and skating in Derby direction. I've just been given a tip here. If you've got any issues with the live stream, please try refreshing the page. That may help you to keep on top of the action that's happening here in this game. Southern Discomfort Roller Derby versus Tyne and Fear. Fear roller derby.
So, sorry, Monsieur
Carry
Furieux there on the line for Southern Discomfort, and it is Swiss Army Mike for Tyne and Fear being recycled back by Rolling Stoner.
Indeed, Swiss Army Mike, quite a new addition to the Tyne and Fear roster. He was playing for the Teesside Skate Invaders up until last year, joining Tyne and Fear last year. He's also played for the Expendables as well. I do rate him as a jammer. He's finding it hard against this Southern Discomfort wall, but I mean, the Southern Discomfort lineups, they only have the two lineups, and they just changed the jammers around. So these blockers are so used to working with each other. They know how to work with each other. Oh my goodness, such a shame, a failed apex jump there by Swiss Army Mike, but a very valiant attempt. In the meantime, Michelle Furio jumping around the straight there.
Straight past Barnabash, yeah,
Indeed.
as he picks up that 5-point pass. Swiss Army Mike again getting hit to the inside and recycled back behind Rolling Stoner.
Oh, a nice little dodge and dive. And we do have Swiss Army Mike managing to break his way through now. He has made his initial pass. A huge cheer here from the crowd.
Yeah, great assist there by More Than a Woman, allowing Swiss Army Mike to get clear. Monsieur Furieux fully aware that Swiss Army Mike was coming in and does call that off, however. He got picking up 1 point from Monsieur Furieux.
He was managing to swish his hips around. Such a wonderful move, picking up that point before he calls it. Obviously making sure he can see exactly where the other jammer is at the same time. And with a jammer like Monsieur Furieux, it doesn't matter if you're going forwards or backwards, you're happily jamming through that pack. Reaper on the jam line for Southern Discomfort.
And 60 quad bit for Tyne and Fear.
If you're enjoying this action, don't forget you've got the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup in Dallas, Texas in this December. Go to rollerderbyworldcup.com for more information. Reaper picking up lead jammer, Southern Discomfort.
Oh, 60 quad bit there, getting hit to the outside by Piston Broke. Reanimated Gift trying to put the hurt on Piston Broke and hit him to the outside, but picks up a penalty and is going to the box.
Indeed. Now, it must have been quite a heavy hit because that helmet cover seems very loose for 60 quad bit. Reaper taking the straight backwards. A little bit of showboating, I believe, but making sure he keeps his balance. Picking up a 5-point grand slam. Coming back through now for another scoring pass. Again, another jammer, very agile, very light on his feet, darting around that split set of Tyne and Fear blockers.
Yeah, meanwhile, 60 quad bit is just driving forwards against Blitzkrieg and Piston Broke, trying to break through that four wall of Southern Discomfort, but it's the Soul Crush as he goes all the way back.
Indeed. And Reaper taking a nice easy spin around Chemical there again. Another big 5-point pass there for Southern Discomfort.
I think Tyne and Fear now really just trying to concentrate on getting 60 quad bit out. They're not worrying about Reaper, although having said that, Chemical with a beautiful swish of the kilt attempts a hit on Reaper as he runs out of the pack, but 60 quad bit is still being recycled all the way back by Shrooms.
Indeed, he had a massive hit there earlier by Piston Broke, actually taking the helmet cover off his head. He caught it straight away, put it back straight onto his head, so it was a good job he managed to see that happening. 60 quad bit again being recycled out, managing to dart up that inside line with a bit of help from his blockers, and that's Moo pushing Reaper out there. Reaper deciding enough is enough and giving it a call. Now I'm almost blinded by Moo's absolutely fantastic glitter glove. If you've not seen it in full HD quality on the feed, keep your eye out for it next time. A wonderful single shiny glitter glove by Moo, so you can identify him nice and easily out there on the track.
So while 60 quad bit did have a lot of time stuck in the pack in that last jam, it has thinned through those Southern Discomfort blockers, giving us a 3-2 pack advantage to Tyne and Fear, with Pablo Diablo taking the star.
Manaki there on the jam line for Southern Discomfort, finding it very hard, stuck there behind More Than a Woman. More Than a Woman doing a really good job slowing Nanaki down. Obviously, the whole four wall of Tyne and Fear doing a lot of the work there, but More sticking his bum right in Nanaki's way.
And Pablo Diablo, he takes that lead. Jammer call for Tyne and Fear, managing to get past a wall of Sutton and Spectral.
We see a lot of the crew members there in the background. They are obviously local to Tyne and Fear and Newcastle Roller Girls. They're supporting the Tyne and Fear lads, jumping for joy in the background. And Naki now braking. He has broken the pack on his initial pass. And a massive cheer from the crowd. 1 point added to Tyne and Fear Roller Derby's scoreline there. Pablo Diablo getting behind the crowd.
Yeah, Barnabash there doing a really good job, along with More Than a Woman, trying to get their jammer through that pack. We now have number 82, Dog, for Tyne and Fear.
He's up against MI6, Ballistic Whistle. Tyne and Fear taken down to just 2 blockers. There was a direction of play call on Bobom just at the end of that last jam. Oh, Ballistic Whistle actually having a little bit of trouble breaking out for lead jammer.
Yeah, reanimated GIF there, not allowing Ballistic Whistle out of the front of that pack without a bit of a fight.
Reanimated GIF, of course, picking up some wonderful experience and some praise from the World Cup earlier this year. He is certainly a blocker that Southern Discomfort wants to be looking out for.
Meanwhile, Rolling Stoner just trying to keep Dog in the pack. Dog breaks through and clears, but Ballistic has called it off.
Ballistic Whistle calling it with the indication of how many points he expected to receive.
Oh, these ex-referees.
And bench coaches, obviously, telling the referee what he expects to happen. Let me give a shout out to Rydell Skates, Ballistic Whistle being one of their sponsored skaters. Rydell Skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance. Check them out at www.rydellskates.com.
And it is Dark Matter for Tyne and Fear on the line.
Against Michelle Fury. Michelle Fury taking that wall of black Tyne and Fear towards the front. He's managing to deplete them down to just 3. Dark Matter just on a slow and steady push. He is taken out and recycled back by number 17, who is
Berserker.
Yep, fantastic work there. But Michelle Fury breaking through. He's now round for his scoring pass.
Dark Matter up against Shrooms, and then Sutton gets that shoulder check down to the inside, recycled to the back.
Sutton Impact not happy there. I think he just missed that impact.
Indeed he did. He was not pleased as he missed that shoulder hit on the Tyne and Fear jammer.
And Southern Discomfort's block is being depleted down a little bit here. Michelle Fiore is still able to jump and dart around, but giving Dark Matter a little bit of an easier ride, as he only had to face up against a 2-wall instead of the absolutely amazing 4-wall.
Yes, Sutton Impact there getting sent to the penalty box for a back block. Let me tell you about skates.co.uk. They are a Derby-owned online store which sells everything you need, whether you're fresh meat or a seasoned pro. With complete skates, wheels, protection and more, they've got you covered.
We give a shout out to the Mechanic 74 from the previous game. Bring it on. Swiss obviously going through to the final. Here we go. And of course, the winner of this game will be also progressing through to that final and playing against the Sunniers.
Yeah, and that will be at 7 p.m. today. The Mechanic jamming quite a lot in that last game for Sus and putting on a very good performance.
No, that would be the Machinist.
Oh, sorry, Machinist, yes. Not the Mechanic.
The Mechanic, bless him, he's sending his love from afar. To Sus. It is hard when teams have got such similar names. I mean, at least we don't have to play up against De Kevins from Belgium, where every single member of that team is called Kevin. That is absolute one to announce. Their numbers are all incredibly similar as well, so a referee's nightmare. A shout out to her sister's boyfriend Blitzkrieg from Charlotte Swift. She also says, "Go SDRD." Please do keep sending your love. Tweet it in to hashtag MEC2014 if you're watching the feed. Get on the stream next to it and send over your details on the stream as well.
And while this official review is taking place, we would like to thank Queens of the Sin Bin. Queens of the Sin Bin are the official merchandise sponsors of the Men's European Cup. For all your custom derby clothing, whether you're a skater, official or fan, Queens of the Sin Bin can meet your demands. Go visit them at queensofthesinbin.com. So the current score is 133 to Southern Discomfort, 11 points to Tyne and Fear. Looks as though it is Tyne and Fear that are using this official review.
And as soon as we get any details, we'll certainly let you know what's happening in that official review. We've just had Jennifer Ferentiuk. Every time I get connection errors, I imagine skaters rolling over wires and the Derby Ducks peeps politely telling them to stop it. I can assure you we haven't put any wires in front of the skaters here. They've just got that track rope to watch out for. But if you do have any feed issues, please do try refreshing your feed. That will hopefully allow it to come back on for you so you can keep on top of the action. Concrete Cows are loving Tyne and Fear's moo. Moo. It's mooing, not booing. Yes, thank you, Milton Keynes Roller Derby.
And as we move towards the middle of this second day, there will be some MVP and skater awards.
There will indeed.
At the final, and I believe some of those prizes are being provided by Juice Wheels.
They are.
Yes, sponsoring the tournament awards at the Men's Euro Cup. Juice Wheels, the Spike Series, features a banded edge technology, providing grip and roll at an affordable price. Compression on your stroke drives energy into the band and then expends it during the roll, giving you that added punch. Available in 3 punchy flavours.
I've worked out the punchy flavours are actually the wheel hardness. I know it took us a little while to work that out, but they are available in 3 different hardnesses. If you check them out, if you want some Juice Wheels.
It is Swiss Army Mike at the front there, picking up the lead jammer call for Tyne and Fear.
And the crowd absolutely going wild, and if you can hear it, that is the Tyne and Fear drum in the background. And Naki finding it hard. He is stuck between Reanimated GIF and Chemical. Porky has managed to be released from the penalty box and is back up there helping out. A very, very slow movement here at the front for Nanaki, not able to push past Reanimated GIF, getting a few shoulder punches in there as well from the Tyne and Fear duo. In the meantime, Swiss Army Mike being recycled back by Rolling Stoner. The rest of SDRD are now coming up. Sutton has come up to try and help Nanaki out.
And a pop from the shoulder by Moo to Nanaki takes him all the way back. Chemical following, bridging backwards while Swiss Army Mike one-on-one against Spectral, but Spectral does also manage that pop to the outside, and it's a rewind for Swiss Army Mike.
Just give you some clarification about the official review that was held. Tyne and Fear queried if the back block by White 3, which is Sutton Impact, should be an expulsion. The call stands as just a penalty. So Sutton Impact just receiving a penalty. The penalty stands, but it is not upgraded to expulsion. So that was Tyne and Fear's official review.
Meanwhile, Swiss Army Mike manages to pick up a 3-point pass, passing one of the opposing team out of play. So that's 3 points added to the score for Tyne and Fear.
Tyne and Fear Roller Derby now on 14 points. Southern Discomfort on 133 with just under 7.5 minutes remaining in this half period. We have Ballistic Whistle on the line for Southern Discomfort.
And he is up against Dog. Dog tries for the inside, comes up against Spectral, who apparently isn't leaving the track now. Bully also with the shoulder hit onto Dog.
And Ballistic Whistle picking up lead jammer before he's knocked out, but he gets a no pass, no penalty regardless, manages to keep his lead jammer status. So that no pass, no penalty was after he was awarded lead jammer.
Meanwhile, Dog gets past the shoulders of Bully and Spectral and is also clear off the pack.
Oh, Ballistic Whistle being battered around and spun like a spinning top as he calls that off. Again, demanding 3 points from the referees. He is awarded 3 points, but I can assure you the referees are making their own decisions as to how many points, and obviously just using the facts in front of them and not any recommendations by Mr. Whistle himself.
Also, sometimes when jammers are signalling those points, they're also signalling them to their bench so that their bench coach can clarify if they feel any points have been missed.
Of course, we have Monsieur Furio down low, having a look at Dark Matter's green shorts. Dark Matter knocking Monsieur Furio to the outside, looking to recycle him back. Monsieur Furio not really wanting to have to make that big journey, doesn't go all the way back. He's now waiting to see what can happen. And Southern Discomfort trying to then take Dark Matter back into their own hands. Dark Matter getting a little bit of a sprint start. Michelle Furio just behind him. So that soul crush not quite happening there between the two jammers. And no babies were eaten. Those of you who don't know roller derby terminology, try looking it up.
Yeah, Dark Matter, I think, making the sensible decision there, really. He could see that the Southern Discomfort blockers were actually at the front of that pack and thought, I'd better leg it.
Now, after that running start, you might be mistaken to thinking that this was a scoring pass. No, that was just the initial pass. Monsieur Furio picking up lead jammer. He is now through on his scoring pass, manages to stay on his feet and is now chasing down Dark Matter, who has just made his initial pass.
Dark Matter there, almost getting eaten back into the pack by Piston Broke, but just manages to put on the speed and not get caught back. Meanwhile, Monsieur Furio comes in. Is he going to put any more points on the board on that pass? He does. He picks up one.
We do. It looks like we have an illegal procedure penalty being considered for a block after the whistle.
Yes, whilst the end of the fourth whistle is the point at which points cannot be scored, after that fourth whistle blast, there can be no further intentional contact.
Is Blitzkrieg 1-0-1 for Southern Discomfort, picking up that penalty just after the whistle there. Back to the action on track. Ballistic Whistle trying his best to push out. Is that Dark Matter?
It's Swiss Army Mike.
Swiss Army Mike. Swiss Army Mike actually using that as a bolster through the pack. He's now up just on one-on-one. Oh, managing to stay on his feet for a short while. He is awarded lead jammer, but was then knocked out. In the meantime, Ballistic Whistle picking up a back block. So this is a power jam. Tyne and Fear having both lead jam and soul jammer on the track for Swiss Army Mike there. And only 3 blockers currently on track for Southern Discomfort roller derby.
Yeah, Rolling Stoner at the back there in that goat position. Knocks Swiss Army Mike off, tries to recycle him back around, and he does get the cut track call. Swiss Army Mike will now go and sit in the penalty box, and Ballistic Whistle will be released back to the track.
Yes, Swiss Army Mike trying desperately to use the straddling rule that is allowed in roller derby. However, it was deemed that he had actually returned to the track before straddling, and that cut was assessed as given. Ballistic Whistle back on track now. He is knocked off. An absolutely sterling hit there coming out from Tyne and Fear's. Ouch! Barnabash. Thank you, Barnabash. Recycled back by both Barnabash and Porky. Porky trying to give him another hit on his way through. Barnabash again back up at the front, trying to knock him to the inside, but Ballistic Whistle is well out, well through. Swiss Army Mike taking a very low stance around Stoner. Stoner still getting that hit in, and Berserker managing to take him to that outside line.
Swiss Army Mike again against Berserker, being taken to the outside. That foot was not outside the track. Swiss Army Mike is okay to recycle.
Ballistic Whistle taking it very steady. He did hold his hand to his face, but he's carrying on with this action. Takes a hit out, jumps back on track as quickly as he can, and takes up that inside line. Another scoring pass there for Ballistic Whistle. And that jam comes to an end there. A lot of action happening in that last jam, and it's good to see that. I know when we see scores like this, where Southern Discomfort 141 to Tyne and Fear's 18, you could be forgiven for thinking that there's no action happening on track. You are absolutely wrong. This is action-packed. Just give a big shout out to Ian Harry Trotter, who is loving the action, and in return he wants to give a shout out to the Bomb Squad and the Born Bombshells. Please keep hashtagging MEC2014, and any that we find interesting we'll try and read out for you.
Yeah, if you compare this score to the game from yesterday where Southern Discomfort took the crash test Brummies 439 to 43, it is fairly evident that Tyne and Fear, with this close to half-time score of 18 C's 141 for Southern Discomfort, are not making it easy for the SDRD boys.
They're not indeed. We've got a timeout for Tyne and Fear Roller Derby at the moment, team timeout. So whilst we have that timeout, let me just remind you that if you want to send any donations through to derbyduckproductions.co.uk, please do keep sending that through. Make sure that you tweet us at hashtag MEC2014 and stick around. The next game that we've got coming up after this match, obviously we've got the second half of this game. The next game that we've got coming up today is 1 o'clock, Pan Am squad playing against the Crash Test Brummies. They are fighting for pride. This is the 7th place decider. Both teams there wanting to make sure they get a win out of this tournament. Back in with the action, Reaper taking lead jammer for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. Nice easy pass around the outside there.
Meanwhile, Dog against the back wall of Blitzkrieg, Piston Broke and Shrooms. He manages to get into the front. And it is a cut track call, unfortunately, on Reaper, as he did not cleanly land that apex jump, meaning Dog has the opportunity to put some points on the board for Tyne and Fear.
I've seen Reaper try and execute that double apex jump. It's like a hop, skip and a jump, almost the long jump that you see at the Olympics. Oh, fantastic work there by Tyne and Fear, allowing Dog to work his way through that inside line. Picking up 5 points, much needed 5 points for Tyne and Fear.
Yeah, great assist by Moo on that first and in fact second pass, assist with Porky as well. Great work there from the Tyne and Fear guys. When you're up against a team like Southern Discomfort, and you've got to give that assist to your jammer in this power jam situation if you want to put those points up on the board.
You have indeed. Unfortunately, Porky picking up a penalty for his assist, but I'm sure Tyne and Fear might argue that it was worth the 30 seconds he's got to spend off. Of course, now Reaper back on track. He's playing up against just a shortened Tyne and Fear blocking squad, using that to his advantage. That's 2 passes he's made now since coming out from the penalty box, picking up 4 and 5 points respectively.
Dog being recycled to the back. There is a forearm call on Shrooms, which will see him take a seat as another cut track is assessed on number 666, Reaper.
Reaper slowed down. I think he wasn't quite sure if he was in or out. Did get called on that cut track on the outside line there. Dog being recycled back by Berserker. He's now up against Piston Broke, Blitzkrieg, and Berserker manages to swoosh around that inside. The crowd go absolutely crazy. Of course, this is Tyne and Fear's home ground. They've got a lot of support out there. Dog darting around the outside, Berserker being held back.
Oh, that was beautiful. A lovely little backward swish through Blitzkrieg and Piston Broke. Berserker, meanwhile, being goated by that Tyne and Fear wall, allowing those points to be picked up for Tyne and Fear.
Such a tricky job, the goating role. You've got to make sure you do it exactly right, otherwise you do give away a lot of space on the track. Some wonderful work there, though, today. And that is our half-time calls. The scores currently stand at Southern Discomfort Roller Derby 151 points to Tyne and Fear's 32 points. Yours truly, how do you feel it's been going for this half?
I think the guys from Tyne and Fear have put up a really, really good fight against Southern Discomfort. Those walls are tough. When you've got skaters like Spectral, you've got Piston, those are big, big guys, and coming up against that kind of wall is super tough. And I think that Tyne and Fear, their jammers have been really strong. I agree with your earlier comment about Swiss Army Mike. I think that he has played very well. As you can see from that, he's got good agility, and yeah, I think that Tyne and Fear definitely have put up a good game so far, and looking forward to seeing what they can do in the second half.
We'll catch you back here in about 13. And welcome back here to the second half of Southern Discomfort Roller Derby, playing against Tyne and Fear Roller Derby.
So the first half has seen us with Southern Discomfort on 151, Tyne and Fear on 32. And one of the things about Southern Discomfort is no matter who they are playing against, they always bring their A game. They always play 100%. They give no quarter.
Absolutely.
And they've got to really give Southern Discomfort credit for that, and Tyne and Fear credit for the 120 point or 119 point differential.
Indeed, both teams absolutely playing their hearts out here. I'd just like to give a big thank you. I know this is going out on the feed and not in-house, but I would like to give a big thank you to all of the crew members that you see dotted around in your feed in the yellow t-shirts. Those crew members are not only helping out the live event here, they are making sure that the feed is as static to you as possible. So we have a lot of cabling, a lot of wiring. They are making sure that the audience aren't stepping over these wires and pulling them out, so that we try and keep the feed continuously running to you. Remember, if you do have any feed problems, just hit that refresh button and hopefully we'll be able to come back to you incredibly shortly. We've got people on that line, on that track, ready to go, of course. We have Reaper starting in the penalty box for Southern Discomfort roller derby.
This gives Dark Matter a power start and Tyne and Fear with the pack advantage. And it works out for them as Dark Matter picks up that lead jammer call.
Indeed, making his way back round now to the back of the pack, trying to get some points there. Reaper has been released from the box, darts around that outside, just dodging around there, picking up that initial pass. He is through. Dark Matter takes a look around, sees Reaper coming back round for him. Throws up all his hands in the air, wants all the points.
Do you think he might be mocking just a tiny little bit?
I believe he might be doing a parody of Ballistic Whistle there, yes. Michelle Fury on the line for Southern Discomfort this time.
And Dog for Tyne and Fear. Empty penalty box, 4-on-4 in the blocker walls on the track.
Very low, Monsieur Furio. You can just see his leggings there, darting his way around. He's unbelievably quick. I cannot believe that. On his toe stops and on his wheels, running as fast as he can. He's even repairing his helmet strap as he's picking up lead jammer, coming back around for his scoring pass. Dog being recycled to the back, trying to force his way around the outside, recycled back by Rolling Stoner. Michelle Furio in the meantime picking up a 5-point grand slam for Southern Discomfort.
Yeah, Dog still fighting up at the front there. I didn't hear the hit on, see the hit on the opposite side of the track, but I did hear it as I think Spectral floored Dog, forcing him to recycle back. Meanwhile, Michelle Furio blasts through the pack and picks up another 4-point pass for SDRD.
Indeed, Michelle Furio, who has been coaching with the London Roller Girls. We do have Double Threat Skates, who are run by London Roller Girls, Kristen Lee and Gorgasm, based in central London. Check them out at www.doublethreatskates.co.uk.
So 60 quad bit there with the star for Tyne and Fear.
And he's facing up against Nanaki for Southern Discomfort. Nanaki trying to knock 60 quad bit out, doesn't quite manage it. Both blockers, both jammers now facing up against their opposition blockers. 60 quad bit was at the front. He's recycled to the back line there.
Yeah,
trying to use reanimated gift to push his way through. Nanaki, as you were about to say, sorry, yours truly, managing to push through at the front there, breaking for lead jammer.
Meanwhile, 60 quad bit, I think, applauding the blocker who hit him out as he's recycled all the way to the back. Face on there with Shrooms with the positional, darts around the outside, now up against Piston and I believe that's Blitzkrieg as he runs through and gets clear of that pack.
Indeed, a lot of respect in roller derby from all the teams to all the other teams taking part in here today, and indeed individual players to other individual players. Nanaki picking up those points. He didn't need to pass that last player. He had already picked up that point. Calls that jam off because he knew that the Tyne and Fear jammer had already been broken out of the pack.
So we are now at 165 for SDRD, 34 for Tyne and Fear, and it is Swiss Army Mike, number 3 for the boys in black and gold.
And he's facing up against Reaper, 666 in the white jersey with the red star on his helmet. Reaper trying to take that inside line, getting low and forcing upwards. He is finding it a struggle, but he does manage to scooch around the outside on turn 1, picking up lead jammer.
Swiss Army Mike there trying to help, trying to get around the outside, being helped by his blockers, but Spectral getting sent to the penalty box means that Swiss Army Mike now only has 3 Southern Discomfort blockers to contend with at the front.
Reaper picking up a grand slam there as Swiss Army Mike picking up a direction of gameplay penalty. He's not quite sure how that's happened, but he has picked up a direction of gameplay penalty, which means that Reaper picking up another set of points there is on a power jam for Southern Discomfort. Roller derby. This will be, hopefully, for them bringing their lead up much higher. Obviously, they want to maximise on this. It does mean, however, that Tyne and Fear don't have to worry about breaking their jammer out at the moment. They only have to defend, so it could be a good thing for Tyne and Fear to get together, try and slow them down. Reaper sees that they have actually set themselves together and that Swiss Army Mike is standing and calls that jam dead so that Southern Discomfort get a fresh jammer back on whilst keeping Swiss Army Mike in that penalty box, giving them that advantage.
And that jammer is going to be Ballistic Whistle.
Ballistic Whistle, of course, sponsored, as I said earlier, by Rydell Skates. Unmatched performance, unmatched quality. Check them out, www.rydellskates.com.
Yorgie Bear trying to cover as much of the track as possible there and stop Sutton from assisting his jammer. Ballistic Whistle up against that front wall. Meanwhile, Swiss Army Mike has been released and is face on to Sutton Impact, but it is Ballistic picks up the lead jammer call.
The Swiss Army Mike trying really hard to get around blockers. Southern Discomfort doing a very good job of knocking him out. Piston broke. It looks like it's a high block. Yes, indeed, a high block issued to Swiss Army Mike. Was it Berserker who was on the floor, I believe, was holding his face?
No, it was Sutton Impact.
Sutton Impact.
Yeah, that face-on blocking. Swiss Army Mike was trying to work his way with his shoulders around Sutton and did unfortunately catch him in the face.
Oh, and a nice big attempted hit by Reanimated Gift there on turn number 3, but Ballistic Whistle saw it coming, darted out of the way. Reanimated Gift nearly ending up in the camera there. Ballistic Whistle now darting easily around Reanimated Gift, who's being go to the back. Chemical Owl, oh, trying to cut him out, does push him out. Ballistic Whistle recycled back behind that 3 wall. Sees them split up, tries to dart around them one at a time, manages to come up against Moo and calls it there at the end.
Yeah, he was trying to lock Swiss Army Mike in the box again, but did not achieve it. Swiss Army Mike just released at the end of that jam, meaning we will have both jammers on track for this next jam.
We've got Monsieur Furio on the jam line. Damien Dost online thinks Furio is on fire. It certainly looks like his skates are in those flame yellow and red skates that he has. It does look like his feet could be on fire. Thank you for sending that in to us, Damien.
And he goes up against Moo, number 9 for Tyne and Fear. Moo trying to take the outside line there, gets knocked to the outside. He's going to be recycled back. Meanwhile, Monsieur Furia picks up the lead jammer call.
Indeed, leaving a stream of Tyne and Fear blockers on the floor in his wake. And again on his scoring pass, Tyne and Fear blockers all over the shop at the moment. Furio knocking them down, spinning around. And look at that reverse jamming from Monsieur Furio here as he breaks through the pack. But Moo has also broken now. The crowd well behind him as Monsieur Furio comes through for a scoring pass. Darts around, calls the jam, but Moo had already jumped through there, picking up some points. Tyne and Fear picking up 4 points to equal Furio's 4 on that pass. Furio, of course, picking up an additional points in that jam. He had 10 points to Moo's 4, but that call off just a little bit late there, allowing Tyne and Fear to bring up their score to 38 points.
Absolutely, yes, they were not looking at the inside line and Moo took advantage, as it is dark matter for Tyne and Fear.
And it is Nanaki for Southern Discomfort. Nanaki trying to force his way around Babom, holding him back there is almost like a diamond formation, holding Nanaki there in the middle. He is struggling. He's managed to find a bit of space at the back. Dark Matter utilising his agility to pick up lead jammer. Nanaki struggling now up against Chemic, Al and Yorkie Bear.
Dark Matter actually not gaining the lead jammer call as he did pass Sudden Impact out of play.
I do apologise. He is in the lead but not lead jammer. Has there been a star pass to Piston Broke? I'm not sure I've seen him jamming yet, so
I do believe there might have been a star pass to him yesterday as well.
He's not jammed yet in this game, but he wants the crowd behind him.
Meanwhile, Dark Matter, he's being recycled back behind Shrooms. There will be no lead jammer, so we will have a full 2-minute jam.
Oh, Piston Break blowing a kiss to Chemical, who tried to take down his showboating. There is no lead jammer in this due to the star pass and the no penalty earlier. Oh, Piston Broke arguing, but a back block has been issued to him. He will be awarding a power jam over to Tynan and Fear.
Meanwhile, Dark Matter did pick up 5 points on that pass. He just dipped around the outside of the Southern Discomfort defence. They did not see him. This time they saw him, but they could not stop him as he gets down that inside line. Past Shrooms picks up a 5-point call.
Only just staying on his foot there, but very pleased with himself for doing so. Reanimated give back round. Sorry, Dark Matter back round. Up against now a very strong, solid wall. 4 blockers back on track for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. And that is the end of that jam, just as Piston Broke is released from the penalty box. Southern Discomfort stretching over the 200-point mark there.
And that was a 17-point jam for Tynan Fear.
Wow, that is the biggest point jam that they've had this game. So really well done there, Tynan Fear. Their blockers obviously helping out and making sure that they were getting the penalties on the Piston Broke.
And it is dog number 82, but Reaper, blink and you miss it, pass more than a woman, picks up lead jammer.
A very quick and easy pass there for Reaper. Spectral Abrasion being given a direction of gameplay penalty, which means that Dog is up at the front, breaking out on his initial pass. Not lead jammer. Reaper is now coming up for another scoring pass, darting through, keeping his head nice and low to pick up some points and calling it.
Yeah, Spectral being sent off there just gave Dog the opportunity that he needed to break clear of that Southern discomfort defence. Decomfort.
Southern something. Indeed. We'd like to give a shout out to Quad Zero, who'd like to say bravo to Swiss. They played a great game. Swiss getting a lot of love.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
amount
thing.
Of love online. So if you'd like to support them or any other team, please remember hashtag MEC 2014. We've got Ballistic Whistle having a struggle here against the Tynan Fear wall, who seem to have adapted a very similar stance to Southern Discomfort's positional blocking wall.
Meanwhile, 60 Quad Bit is up at the front against Shrooms, gets hit down and is recycling all the way to the back.
Ballistic Whistle not looking happy with the fact that he's having to do quite a lot of work and still hasn't broken. He's using his own blockers and finally managing to split up that wall. Breaks out for lead jammer, Southern Discomfort Roller Derby. 60
Quad Bit managing to land that jump, but then gets taken down and out anyway by Blitzkrieg, and a run around the outside gets him clear of the pack. Ballistic already on his way through Bob-omb, tries to get him out on that outside line, does not achieve it. Ballistic takes the 5, calls the jam. Oh, 4, sorry, not 5.
We're not giving 5. He's not asked for 5 this time. Let me just give you a bit more information about skates.co.uk. Do you need new wheels for your skates? Then check out skates.co.uk. All Derby wheels are currently sold with ABEC 9 bearings, absolutely free. Can't say fairer than that. And if you skate, you know that those bearings are one of the highest quality bearings. You can get ABEC 9 bearings free with your skate wheels at skates.co.uk.
Yep, free stuff is always good. It is Swiss Army Mike for Tynan Fear.
Up against Michelle Furio's back on the jam line for Southern Discomfort. Both jammers having a bit of an argy-bargy. The back Swiss Army Mike having a storming game, picking up lead jam over Tyne and Fear. Monsieur Furio still struggling again. Tyne and Fear have adopted that triple wall that Southern Discomfort have been using so well. Southern Discomfort's jammers struggling to get past the variant of their own wall. Sadly, Swiss Army Mike not making a legal pass there as he re-entered the pack. He has picked up a cut, so it is a power jam to Monsieur Furio. He is not lead jammer. Porky managing to break free from being a goat to go up and help his blockers that they're at the front.
Herbie on the outside trying to make a hole with some offense for Monsieur Furio. Rolling Stoner taking on Tank there, trying to see maybe if they can hold him back behind their wall. They do not manage it. Bridging out at the front now, it is Barnabash there, along with teammate Pablo Diablo, and they do manage to get the recycle on Monsieur Furio. Barnabash again with that hit to the inside. We have seen some phenomenal work for Barnabash in general over this weekend. An instrumental blocker in the Tyne and Fear defence, and Swiss Army Mike is already out and back against that Southern Discomfort wall.
Indeed, it just seems that Monsieur Furio not being able to utilise enough power. His agility is just dropping him down to the floor, and he's not able to charge through. These blockers are not moving. In the meantime, Swiss Army Mike has been released, worked his way around Rolling Stoner, but Rolling Stoner recycling and managing to knock him out.
And it's a cut being called on Porky, who is going to go and take a 30-second sit down.
Monsieur Furio now utilising Flat Track Bully to be able to break through that pack, as Swiss Army Mike flooring both Samdroid and Stoner, but receiving a direction of gameplay. Yes, direction of gameplay there issued to Swiss Army Mike on that very last pass. He does still pick up 3 points, but has been issued that penalty at the end of that jam.
And I believe that's the second direction of gameplay that Swiss Army Mike has picked up. I'm guessing that typically now direction of gameplay tend to occur when people are face on blocking, but I think it's just simply his angle across the track has meant that his contact has actually been against the direction of gameplay, and that's why he's been sent.
Indeed, and it is so easy to do on these corners to think you're going forwards when actually relative to the track dimensions you are actually not. So direction of gameplay issued on Swiss Army Mike. Reaper here with that nice easy initial pass, now coming through for scoring pass, knocked out by Reanimated GIF, who was taken down. A no pack called, so Reaper darts through the final 2 blockers, Chemical and GIF, very easily. Background now after picking up 5 points. Facing up against the outside of Chemical, nice and easy again. A solid 5 points there for Reaper. Swiss Army Mike is back on track, trying to go around the outside of Berserker, just knocked off on 1 foot to that outside there. Reaper, oh, a spinning apex jump there to pick up 4 points for Southern Discomfort. Try almost a copycat image there by Swiss Army Mike. Sadly, he's not able to complete that apex jump. Recycle back again by Blitzkrieg and Shrooms.
Shrooms again, he's been doing some good work for the guys in white of Southern Discomfort as well, as that takes us to a score of 61 Tyne and Fear, 231 for Southern Discomfort. This means that Tyne and Fear are just 1 point off doubling their score from the first half.
They are indeed. Do remember, if you want to help us keep providing these high quality feeds, head over to derbyduckproductions.co.uk. Please hit that donate button. Derby Duck are doing an absolutely brilliant job here today and over the whole of the weekend to bring you these live feeds. They're helping us, obviously. We've got the feed announcers, we've got the in-house announcers, we've also got the studio as well, so they're doing a wonderful job. They've been here all weekend working extremely hard. Please, if you can get over to derbyduckproductions.co.uk and just send over not just your love but a little bit of cash too.
So a team timeout now being taken by Southern Discomfort. Just gives us a little bit of time to tell you about our official merchandise sponsors of the Men's European Cup, Queens of the Sin Bin. For all your custom derby clothing, whether you're a skater, official or fan or announcer, Queens of the Sin Bin can meet your demands. Go visit them at queensofthesinbin.com.
I'd also like to give a big shout out to Pandemonium, who should have been here announcing the feed today. She's sending her love over to us. We'd like to send some love back. Unfortunately, she's not well. She's been taken ill, so she's not able to make it here today for the second day of the Men's European Cup. You'll have heard her yesterday doing some of the announcing. She is at home. Send her your love. We certainly do. We love you, Panda.
Get well soon, Panda.
Get well soon.
And it is number 1, Dark Matter for Tyne and Fear, getting popped to the outside there by Sam Droid.
He's up against Nanaki. Nanaki now pushing up against that front wall. Tyne and Fear. Tyne and Fear very spaced out. Nanaki pushing down hard, but more than a woman doing a brilliant bolstering job there to stop Nanaki from being able to move forwards. Eventually does manage to dart around. Lead jammer for Southern Discomfort.
Meanwhile, Dark Matter, he's on one skate on the inside line, trying to avoid getting taken off track, but unfortunately he does not manage that as he gets taken down, recycled back. Teammates now trying to assist him through, but he actually gets sent off to the penalty box. I did not see what the call was for, but Dark Matter is going to sit for 30 seconds, meaning Nanaki is currently unopposed on track.
Yes, a big hit there by more than a woman, taking Nanaki out. He was very slow to get back up, but he does seem to be fine. He's knocked out again to the outside. Nanaki now back on track, starting his way through, managing to pick up a couple more points before he calls it hit to the outside. Sorry, as you were saying about Tank, tell me about Tank.
Tank got sent to the box there for a cut track. Dark Matter is now standing in the penalty box, but this will be a power start for Southern Discomfort.
They're sending on Ballistic Whistle to take that star panty. We also have, Tyne and Fear do have blockers in the box as well,
just the one, just Tank, I think, from the last jam.
Yep, so Southern Discomfort with a 4 blocker start. They do have a massive advantage here.
Shrooms trying to use that advantage to do some offense and get Ballistic past that Tyne and Fear wall. He's past Chemical, he's past Reanimated GIF. He is your lead jammer.
Indeed, a nice bit attempted hit there at the end, gets the audience going. Dark Matter getting a round of applause as he does break through after being released from the penalty box, but Ballistic Whistle with a spinning hip swing around turns 3 and 4, staying on track, staying in track and picking up those points as he calls it.
Yeah, unfortunately Bob-omb just gave him that foot on the inside line, and that is all that Ballistic needs to get through.
Indeed. Southern Discomfort now up to 240 points from that jam by Ballistic Whistle. Tyne and Fear on 61 points.
1 blocker apiece in the penalty box. Shroom sat down, Tank standing as number 9, Moo, is taking the star for Tyne and Fear, and Monsieur Fury are doing some jammer offense there.
Indeed, Monsieur Fury liking to I think it's almost like a retaliation for him being knocked out earlier. Oh, wow.
It did not work as Moo is through, and he has got that lead jammer call.
You hear the mooing in the crowd. They're absolutely loving it. Monsieur Furio, not quite making that reverse apex jump and being awarded a cut track for that attempted reverse apex jump, or backwards apex jump. In the meantime, Moo is being knocked out and recycled back. He is not going too far back though. Southern Discomfort just want to maintain that solid wall rather than having to move around and split that wall up. So more than a woman tries to come in and play some offense for Moo to break Moo through. Barnabash, I do apologise, Barnabash.
It's because both the numbers start with 0. That's what it is. Yes, Barnabash trying some offense. Meanwhile, Moo is through. Moo calls off the jam, locking Monsieur Furia in the penalty box. A power start for Tyne and Fear, and you can hear the crowd are so pleased with Moo's performance there.
Mooing, not booing. The man with the glitter glove. Don't forget that the Men's Roller Derby Association is proud to be backing this inaugural Men's European Cup, and they wish all the teams competing the best of luck. Remember, the winners of this game are going through to the final at 7 o'clock tonight. And they will be playing against the Seers. Who's this up on the jam line? Is it Dog?
It is, yes, it is Dog, who is trying to force his way past Piston Broke as he drives forwards through that wall of white. He gets past Piston, but Piston recycles back to the front again. Some great recycling work there from Southern Discomfort, giving enough time for Monsieur Furia to clear, and unfortunately Dog gets the forearm score, giving Monsieur Furia lead jammer control of this jam.
Yeah, that is the initial pass for Monsieur Furio. He did look as if he'd made a first pass, but his re-entry from the penalty box was quite far around the track. So this is now his scoring pass. He tries to break his way through, does manage to split apart Chemical, and picks up another 5 points for Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
Blitzkrieg with a hit there on the outside to Yorgi Bear. They are keeping Yorgi Bear in that rear position, but Yorgi driving his way through, refusing to be goated. Meanwhile, Monsieur Furia is up against that front wall, along with the assist from Blitzkrieg, up against Chemical. Reanimated GIF on it as well. Little 180 spin. Monsieur Furia picks up that well-earned 5-point pass.
Indeed, jumping directly over that hit from Chemical. Chemical on the floor. Not the lowest skater to be low down there. Monsieur Furio is certainly jumping at least over his own hip height. He's now facing up the very solid wall here. Dog is back on track after that forearm penalty, trying to make his way around a very solid and again facing wall. Piston Broke doing a massive job there along with Blitzkrieg to hold down Dog. Down Dog? Is that a yoga move? Dog taken back to that inside, recycle back, but a direction penalty issued on Samdroid for his efforts.
Dog charging again down the outside, going to be fed back by Piston Broke and Blitzkrieg, and it is a 4-point pass for the guys in white.
Let me just give you a bit more information about Juice Wheels. They are a refreshing innovation in wheels developed specifically for Derby at all levels of play. The new technology delivers grip when you need grip, roll when you need roll, and energy when you need it most. And don't forget, please keep sending in your tweets to hashtag MEC2014. We'll read out any that are interesting, so make them really good. Reaper on the line for Southern Discomfort.
And it is Swiss Army Mike for Tyne and Fear. Reaper with a little bit of jammer offense again, trying to push Swiss Army Mike off the inside line. Reaper stuck behind that wall with Barnabash and More Than a Woman teaming up again. Swiss Army Mike is fed to the back, and it is Reaper that picks up the lead call. And a cut track is issued on Swiss Army Mike. He is going to go and sit along with Rolling Stoner in the penalty box. This means that Reaper does have a power jam. However, there is a decent blocking quality out there of Tank, Barnabash, More Than a Woman, and Porky. I wouldn't want to go up against that four wall.
I most certainly wouldn't want to either. Does look like a cut track has been given to Reaper. More Than a Woman initially knocking him out, darting back at the very last minute. Reaper not seeing him jumping back, and yes, managing to get that cut track penalty called on Reaper. So we do have Swiss Army Mike back on, up now against Flat Track Bully Rolling Stoner, trying to squash him in. A bit of a jammer sandwich happening there between the two slices of white blockers. Swiss Army Mike trying to dart around that outside. He manages to stay on track. That is his initial pass. Well done to Swiss Army Mike. Reaper, however, has already been released, and he is now up against More Than a Woman. Tries to dart his own way around the outside, but Swiss Army Mike picking up some points there. Oh! A huge hit by Reaper on Swiss Army Mike just as he was recovering from that hit from Rolling Stoner.
Swiss Army Mike does manage to regain his feet, however, and does pick up a 4-point pass. Reaper back in the pack again, up against that front three wall with More Than a Woman. Gets past Tank. Does he get past Barnabash and pick up the points?
3-1 jam there. So 1 point to Tyne and Fear, 3 points to Southern Discomfort on that final pass. Just give a big shout out to Emma Warsom's cat, Storm and Norman, who's enjoying the game. We think he might be meowing for SDRD.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching, Storm and Norman.
So with 4 minutes left in this period, we have 261 to Southern Discomfort, 76 to Tyne and Fear. Tyne and Fear putting Pablo Diablo up on the jammer line.
And Ballistic Whistle darting around that inside line, tries to break the lead jammer, is knocked off, manages to make his way back in.
Oh, big pile up there just after turn 1. Lots of bodies hitting the floor, and looks like Pablo Diablo is back up on his feet, up against Piston Broke Berserker and Shrooms there, along with Blitzkrieg at the front, fed off to the inside, and it is a low block call on Pablo Diablo. Gives Ballistic Whistle a power jam, but we are still yet to have a lead jammer called.
Indeed, a good recycling there by Bob-omb, managing to knock Ballistic Whistle to the outside line. Reanimated Gift desperately trying to hold Ballistic on that inside line, but Ballistic gives him a big smile as he manages to push his way past. Those two both playing for Team England earlier in the Roller Derby World Cup together, so again, knowing each other's strengths and foibles very easily there. Some good offensive work there by Southern Discomfort, splitting up Tyne and Fear's blockers. Chemical there at the front now trying to hold back. Ballistic Whistle managing to dart around on his toe stops. Another 5 points for the Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
Yeah, Ballistic Whistle coming up against that 2-wall of Tyne and Fear at the back. Chemical deciding to stay at the front to see if they can catch Ballistic in that 2-wall. They do not manage to. He gets past Bob-omb. He picks up a 4-point pass. Pablo Diablo facing off against Shrooms.
Ballistic Whistle coming back up, very steadily to that back of the pack, taking his time now. There's a little over 2 minutes left, and he wants to obviously be reserving some of his energy, so taking it nice and steady. And it is a rewind on Pablo Diablo as Shrooms is sent to the penalty box. Ballistic Whistle again, reanimated GIF. His Team England teammate is not going to give him any quarter. Chemical tries to hit to the outside. Ballistic does manage to stay on one hug, and oh, nice
look at that.
So sweet. And again, the level of respect these skaters have for each other is just phenomenal, and that's the way we like to see it in roller derby. It is about the big hits, but it's the respect for each teams and for the skaters as well. Just as we come up to the last minute and a half, let me give a shout out to Ennui Skate Gear, who have L Girl Time, the new line of protective gear specially designed for women by Ennui. Check out Ennui and L Skate Gear.
So you may hear the mooing there. It is Moo who has picked up lead jammer for Tyne and Fear. The crowd love that call.
Nanaki, the jammer for Southern Discomfort, being recycled back by More Than a Woman. Again, More Than a Woman seeming to get in jammer's ways all the time. That's a big hit there, but Moo is back up on his feet.
Landing that apex jump on the inside before going down means that he did remain in play. He did pass out of play. Oh, and he didn't pick up any points.
Didn't pick up any points. Moo not picking up any points on that apex jump, but now having broken his way back through, picks up 5 points for Tyne and Fear. They're edging closer and closer to that triple digits. As Moo comes back around, darts around, spinning, tries to get through Shrooms. Shrooms managing to knock him out. He is recycled back, taking his time now on that outside line.
Nanaki also being recycled back there by Swiss Army Mike. Both jammers having a tough time getting through this wall.
Stoner there managing to take Moo all the way to the back. It's quite telling that Swiss Army Mike taking out Nanaki and Stoner, who used to be a jammer for Discomfort, taking out Moo. It's the jammers coming up against other jammers. Now Stoner, who I just said used to jam for Southern Discomfort, has now taken a star pass off of Nanaki. So Rolling Stoner is the current jammer.
Really interestingly there, a cut was called on Moo and then a cut on Rolling Stoner as well.
So we have both jammers sitting in the penalty box for a cut, just a couple of seconds each before they come back around. Rolling Stoner's the jammer now, originally the pivot, the jammer here for Southern Discomfort, trying to get through that solid 4 wall at the back. Moo getting down low, managing to swoosh past a few, but is recycled back out and all the way back. A nice wave there and a bit of a dance coming from Shrooms as he takes Moo all the way through to the back. both teams happy with that score at the end. That does appear to be our unofficial final score. We will confirm those scores for you as soon as we find them.
And just at the end of that last jam, More Than a Woman did go to the penalty box for a multiplayer block, just in case you saw him going off to have a little sit down, but it doesn't matter. It's all over now, as we have 275 points unofficial for Southern Discomfort, 86 for Tyne and Fear.
An absolutely brilliant game there by the Tyne and Fear guys. Like I say, you look at the scores and you think it's been a walkover, but it certainly hasn't. We've seen some sterling jamming, I believe. Swiss Army Mike doing a really good job. And towards the end there, Moo, he has the crowd behind him at all times, doing some fantastic jamming. Of course, Southern Discomfort, so solid in their defensive work and their jammers' agility. Like we heard, it's like they're on fire. They are very agile. They are so quick. Reaper can catch up with you in seconds. So just some brilliant work there from both teams.
Absolutely, and Southern Discomfort actually not managing to put as many points up in that second half. Tyne and Fear reducing them by about 25 points in that second half. Tyne and Fear themselves managing to put 54 points in the board in that second half, so a much better, stronger second half from Tyne and Fear, and I think we can all agree they put up a formidable fight against the machine that is Southern Discomfort Roller Derby.
They did indeed. You will see Tyne and Fear at 5 o'clock tonight as they face off against Toulouse Quad Guards. And Southern Discomfort, carry on for me please, Josh.
Yeah, Southern Discomfort you will see in the final against South Wales Silers.
We're going to cut to some adverts for you. Please do keep watching. The next game that's up here today is Pan Am Squad facing up against the Crash Test Brummies, who are fighting it out for 7th place. I've been Holly Sheet.
And I've been yours truly.
Thank you so much for watching.